What's up, guys? I'm Aaron Stapish, and welcome to the Grid Chat. And today we're going to talk to you guys about something really cool. What is the best Nintendo 64 game of all time? And I figured someone I could bring in to talk about it with me today, besides Greg or Ricky, is my big brother,
Aaron's brother Adam.
Yeah, Adam. We did play at the Nintendo 64 quite a bit as kids. It was released actually September 29th in 1996 in North America. And it was a system that was very prominent in our house. I mean, how about you tell them what we used to do every day after school, basically, for every day of our life in high school?
Well, we play nonstop Smash Brothers, but what I particularly remember is going to Toys R Us just to play the Nintendo 64 games. Like one of them, probably one of my favorite, is Mario 64.
Mario 64, I still have vivid memories. I've actually talked about it before, where we walked in there together and we heard, "It's a me, Mario!"
It's me, Mario!
And we're just like sitting there, we're like, what is that? And we go and it's like, 3D Mario. We both kind of, yeah, we kind of flipped out and the camera angles, and you could play with Mario's face, and it was amazing. To me, that's actually still one of my higher picks for favorite Nintendo 64 game.
Right.
So, do you have any games that you want to talk about right off the bat that are super interesting to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. For a solo, like one of my favorite was Ogre Battle 64. Absolutely love that. Ogre Battle 64 was like a strategic geniuses, which I was not, but I would lose a lot. But that was just a great game to just practice.
And not a lot of people say that game, so I think that's cool. And speaking of games that not a lot of people talk about, I mean, I would say a game like Blast Corps, maybe Beetle Adventure Racing.
Blast Corps was great. Beetle Adventure Racing.
Mischief Makers.
Mischief Makers was ridiculous. It was an early release, and it was a platformer.
Like a puzzle platformer.
Yeah, puzzle platformer, 2D. One of the first ones, and it was one of the ones that just, I think it was all in Japanese, actually.
Yeah, it was a wild game with wild cutscenes and everything. Some other standouts right off the bat, for actually sports game, I like Blitz a lot.
Blitz was fun.
Blitz was fun. I'm not a sports guy, but we loved that game. We played it.
It's like along the same vein of like an NBA Jam for football. You know, it's just like goofy and fun.
Also, if we don't say this, we'll be beaten brutally by every single one of you. Ocarina of Time.
I mean, it's like, you have to say Ocarina of Time. It's one of the best games of all time.
But I remember you playing the heck out of that game as kids.
Love that game. It's so good. But you know, all Zeldas pretty much I get obsessed with. That was one of the best ones I ever
And still to this day, it's pretty locked in, especially Navi with, hey, listen. It's like everybody talks about that all the time.
Yeah.
Also, like we mentioned earlier, Smash Brothers, to me, Kirby was my guy. Who was yours?
Kirby was so annoying with you. You just
the Smash!
And you float above and just crush down. Oh my gosh.
Who are you? You were Link a lot.
I was Link, but no.
And Samus.
Fox.
Oh yeah!
Fox. Just super fast kicks.
Well,
death from above.
Now that you're speaking of Fox, I'm going to go straight into my favorite Nintendo 64 game of all time. Star Fox 64! Amazing game.
Yeah.
Besides the gameplay and how perfect the game was to me, also there's a new one coming out for the Wii U, would be the multiplayer, but also the quotes.
Oh my God.
What's one of your favorites?
Andros' enemy is my enemy.
Or Slippy. Ah! I'm hit! Ah! I'm hit!
Use the boost to get through.
Or do a barrel roll is probably the most
internet, like, just meme
is internet famous. But yeah, Star Fox 64 to me is my favorite Nintendo 64 game of all time. I will claim it that. Do you want to say what yours is?
It would still be Super Mario 64. I remember just going to the video store and getting the Japanese version from a Japanese guy way early just because I loved it so much. Pilot Wing 64?
Yes!
Come on.
And especially for like an aviation game, it's like aviation. Even the one on Super Nintendo was fun, but this one to me did something with that 3D realm that felt much better, even though the Mode 7 version
was
open.
You know, you had the rocket pack. You could just, when you crash, your guy just spins like crazy.
Don't they make like a weird noise when they get hit?
It's like, I don't know, it's like, or something ridiculous like that.
Oh, speaking of, we did Wave Race.
Wave Race was fun.
64 was awesome.
Okay.
Okay. That was amazing. Yeah, Wave Race was, I'd say, a game we played the heck out of. Gauntlet Legends, F-Zero X, Diddy Kong Racing is a great one. Rare, and if you guys didn't know, Rare was in its heyday, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 6. I'm getting the thumbs
I don't
down.
like that game. I'm sorry, I'm going to be picked on for this probably, but I felt like you just moved so slow in that game. Don't you think? Like, come on, you moved like ridiculously slow. Mario Kart any day. Mario Kart 64?
Okay, well that makes me happy. Mario Kart 64, yeah, that was, I think almost a lot of people would say one of the best Mario Karts ever. And if not the best, one of the most enjoyable as a group of people.
Yes,
and speaking of a group of people, we cannot forget this. GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Yeah, we had to say that because I mean it was a game changer for everything. For like a 4-person couch gaming at the time.
Yeah, and I feel like the game didn't really hold up as well. I played it the other day, and
it
I was
looks
kind of like
terrible now.
Well, it was hard to control, but at the time,
back then,
for like you said, couch gaming with 4 people in a room, just like this was like the ultimate, one of the first FPS games, not the first FPS, but one that like launched it into.
Oh, yeah, I vividly remember just shooting through the floor with the watch laser. And
yeah, that silencer sound effect, like everybody knows that sound.
It's ingrained in my head.
It's ingrained in your head. In your head. Yeah, there's so many guys. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie. There's also Conker's Bad Fur Day.
And all these games had just like you look back now, they're all just blocky graphics.
Polygons.
Yeah, you didn't care back then.
But they were awesome. Yeah, there's so many good ones, but Paper Mario.
Paper Mario was great. I definitely liked it. If I was going to compare it to, like, Super Mario RPG was a lot, you know, I'm a JRPG guy. I think that was a lot better. But I think Paper Mario was great for what it was. Very Nintendo.
I loved it. Yeah, I do love Super Mario RPG better, though. Yeah. But, hey, besides our opinions and enough of us yapping away at you guys, we're going to go to Joe, which his name is Badman Reviews, which I love that. Name. I also love his channel. So let's shoot it over to him and see what his favorite Nintendo 64 game is of all time. Joe, tell us right now. Do it.
I personally believe that the best game for the Nintendo 64 has to be Majora's Mask. And that's just because of how emotional the game is, from all the sadness to all the happiness, with all the different NPCs having their own story that really gets you immersed into them. I've never been so connected to an NPC than I have been in Majora's Mask. And that's really why Majora's Mask is my favorite game for the Nintendo 64. Back to you guys.
Dude, Joe, I absolutely remember just being freaked out by that game. That moon just looming over you the whole time. It was creepy. It was a difficult game, being on the clock all the time.
It was perfect, I think, for a Zelda game mixed with like the dark elements of the game. It was awesome.
I preferred Ocarina of Time, but hey, to each their own, and that was a great game.
They were good games. But with that said, enough of us. What are your guys' favorites? Not, besides all this stuff that we said, whatever, what are your guys' favorites? That's what we want to know. Let us know. Tweet us and Facebook us and Instagram us. If that's, just speak to us at The Grid Gaming. Also follow us at Twitch on The Grid Gaming Live, guys, and just let us know what you're thinking and what you're doing. It's so hard not to look at Greg over there. He's staring right at us. But again, I am Aaron Stapish, and we love talking to you guys here at The Grid Chat. Who are you?
Adam Stapish.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys soon again here in The Grid Chat and at The Grid Gaming.